now told illegally, but nonetheless, when it was voted, none of the things that people are claiming they got were gotten in. They were all gotten in the months afterwards when you continued to fight, and you continued to lobby, and you continued to demand what's best for youngsters. Steve Sansone talked about Capelli raising the bar. Well, I give credit to the Capelli organization for what they've done so far in dealing with the council and in dealing, more importantly, with the community. But Louis Capelli didn't raise the bar. Each and every one of you raised the bar. He's just stepping up to the high ideals and the demands, the fair demands, that you as a community have set. Lastly, well, almost lastly, others have made reference to past and future elections. The fact is, don't let anyone tell you otherwise, you did change the outcome of the last election. You didn't have millions of dollars, you didn't have a campaign war chest, you didn't have the high-paid lobbyists and the high-paid lawyers, but you had gumption, and you changed the outcome of the election. So don't let anybody tell you that you're not in charge. And I did kid once before, and I'll say it again, if nothing else, we've seen the best community organizing that this city has seen in a very long time. I don't want to single anyone out, but someone like Martin McGloin, who happens to live quite literally on the last street east in Yonkers, and many others with him, can join hands with the folks at the Hudson River Community Association on Warburton Avenue, nearly as far west as you can go, and cooperate month in and month out, not just on this, but on other issues, to share information, to work together. Yes, over Ridge Hill, but over the downtown, over taxes, over any number of things. How long did we wait in Yonkers to see that sort of cross-community cooperation? Again, you folks deserve all the credit. So again, I say thank you to the White House once.
Just going to ask by a show of hands in the room, how many folks were born and raised in the Bronx? A number of them. I'm just going to speak to the gentleman a little bit about Robert Moses, and as it's been alluded to, how we destroyed the Bronx with the Cross Bronx Expressway, cutting it in half. But also to talk about the Meadowbrook Parkway and how they made sure the underpasses weren't too high, so public buses couldn't get through and maybe bring an element to the shore that they didn't want. So yeah, things are great, but sometimes at what price? Folks, it's been a long haul. And I think about here we are tonight in the dead of summer. And how many times have we said over and over, don't let this vote happen in the dead of summer. And here we are. You've done a yeoman's job. I know I've been there with you and heard the times when it was said, trust the process, only to see an illegal vote taken and a lawsuit ensue. I've also heard people say there won't be a vote until your needs are met. And yet here we are tonight, at the brink of having those needs met, and we're taking a vote anyway. We're talking, it's been about politics. Unfortunately, you're right. You heard the folks here tonight very frustrated, talk about upcoming elections. We saw what happened in the last election. Politics on both sides. And at the very, very beginning of this process, I sat with these folks and some of Forest City Ratton's people. The very beginning said, don't talk to those people. And this is by Forest City Ratton's people's own admission. They were told not to talk to the people and not to talk to the people that represent them. Which brought us to what we're dealing with here tonight, gentlemen and ladies. So yeah, there's politics. I felt it in my last election. Hopefully my colleague here won't feel it in his upcoming election. But it's there. Sure that the zone stays true to what it was then created for. And ironically, it was something that was even supported by one of our corporation council during all of the long meetings that said, good idea. And yet for some reason, the real estate committee keeps it sitting in there, lets it die over and over, but I'll keep bringing it out. I'll keep bringing it up again and again. Politics, to the gentleman, I don't know. Good government to me. As far as the findings in front of us, yes, they have been amended. This is not the findings that was voted on, in my estimation, improperly on December 9th. And they have been amended. Does that warrant secret opening? I'll leave that to the attorneys. But what it does do, this finding document in front of us, folks, it validates everything that you have fought for. Everything that you have worked hard. The profit, the lease for $40 million, that property is worth, that lease is worth $500 million, but we're going to sell it for 40. And we're voting on this without the IDA having buttoned down the financial package. So you can say whatever you want, it's not been addressed. And yet, we're going ahead. To my colleagues, all I can say is like this gentleman said here from Onion Heights. All we ever wanted was this project to be done right. And sadly, while it has the potential, that's not what's going to happen here tonight.
Well, it's been no secret to anyone in this room, my position on Ridge Hill. Some of you agree with me, some of you disagree with me. I would like to say that I do think it is a very good project for our city. It's going to do a lot for our city. Not only create jobs, which is very much needed in our city, bringing tax revenues, which are also needed in our city, but it will create a destination for people to come. This city council and the previous city council went through an exhaustive secret study. I think that study, the findings that were initially voted on by the city council, did in fact validate the sufficiency of the study and the project and the benefits that it will bring to the city of Yonkers. There's no doubt that the agreement that we have before us is better. But let's be clear, that also came at a price. The price is approximately $2 million a month. They lost revenues for the delay. So while there's a lot of people applauding the changes and the additions, and I'm happy to be here today and be part of this, it did also come at a price. I would also like to say that, and be on record once again, as stating that I think that the actions that the City Council took were entirely legal. You put a couple of attorneys in a room and you're going to get a bunch of different opinions on any matter. I happen to disagree with the position of the court and the half a dozen or so attorneys that guided us as our consultants and attorneys for the city. They also believe in the sufficiency of the action.